Welcome back. Matt Charles, Public Relations and Communications Director for Danville Regional Foundation, or DRF. All right, I know you've been waiting for this. What is the name of the show going to be? Well, surprisingly enough, it's actually going to remain DRF Digest. DRF Digest came in with about twice as many votes as some of the others. So I guess people like the name. It's quick, it's easy, and it makes you think of DRF and the partners and the great bright spots we have going on around the community. So why mess with a good thing? We're going to stick with DRF Digest. Okay, on today's episode, we're going to be speaking with David Parrish, the Deputy City Manager, about, as you can see behind me, the demise of the downtowner. Thank you. And some of the happenings will be going on around there, engaging the community, and potentially what could be going into that space. And also, keeping with the theme of the River District Renaissance and Renewal, we're going to go to the other side of the river and speak with Sarah Fulmer, the Executive Director and CEO of the Danville Family YMCA, and we're going to be on their site as they do some construction on the new Y. And I hear that we may actually be able to get some blasting footage if we're over there, so hopefully we're going to make it over there in time for that. So everybody sit back, put on your hard hat, and get ready for another episode of DRF Digest. Okay, we're here at the site of the downtowner, or the looks like the downtowner's finally met its demise. I'm here with David Parrish, the Deputy City Manager for the City of Danville. Thank you, David, for coming in today.
Yeah.
And David, you've been instrumental in this process through the planning, putting out the bids, and then it's kind of overseeing some of the day-to-day here from the city's perspective.
Well, I've been involved, yeah. There's been a lot of other players, inspections, community development, been heavily involved in economic development. But it's been a team project with coordination with D.H. Griffin as well, in partnership with you guys from the beginning. I think it's coming down. It's been a success coming down. I think here going forward, it's good things looking forward to. So.
And this started coming down late February.
Yeah, they started doing the environmental work in February, removing and addressing some of the environmental issues on the inside. Had to get all that straight first before we could start the actual, what you could visibly see as demolition. That took about a month and a half, 2 months. So coming forward to about April or May, that's when some of the actual work started taking place. It didn't look like they were doing a lot, but what they were doing for the first part was actually taking down some of the loose objects, some of the railings, some of the cinder blocks that were kind of on the balconies there. But they were doing a lot of work. But a lot of the heavy work that you really could notice started here back in the last couple of months and leading up until today, where we're standing here, they're still doing a lot. It's just amazing to stand here on site and look and see how far down it still goes. But they've been working really hard here the last couple of months getting it down. So
yeah, I mean, me being down here every day, and then also checking it out on the webcam. So thanks to the city for putting that up so that the citizens could actually see downtown coming down.
One of our most visited pages. It's
it crashed. Didn't it crash in the beginning?
Early on, we had a lot of hits. Right when a lot of the activity started happening, where you could actually visually see it coming down. We had so much activity right there on that first day. We had to go back and readdress some of that, but we had it up within a couple hours, back up live, and it's been a hot item. So people have been interested in it. So
especially the last week, where we thought there was going to be this crazy, climactic drop of that third tower there, and these guys have done such a good job.
The skill with the 90-foot arm there is amazing. I'm glad they didn't have me in the bucket, but. They did a really good job.
I mean, they pretty much, and correct me if I'm wrong in the terminology, but just munched it out.
That's the terminology I've been given. It's a muncher.
Technical term.
But it can bite through and grab through and rip through thick pieces of rebar, concrete as well. So it's a magnificent, kind of awesome piece of equipment.
How close was the building, the downtowner, to the building that's standing? Was it linked, or was there a slight space?
It was not linked. There was a gap, an alley maybe a couple feet wide.
So we're basically talking this, maybe like that far apart, and these guys still, the building looks as if it's been untouched in places.
Yeah, they did a really good job.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I could have fit through it, and that's about it. It would have been pretty tight in there. So,
I heard a funny story. When the downtowner first came into being in the late '60s, and some promotional material that was associated with that. Can you talk about that a little bit?
It's interesting. There's a magazine from the late '60s talking about the construction of the downtowner and how it was linked to the revitalization of downtown. And it is just fascinating to see that, fast forward to today, you could have taken that same paragraph and really just changed out the words construction with demolition, and how, the buzz was about it. The demolition of downtown is kind of linked to today's revitalization of downtown. We've got the streetscape project getting ready to start to take place here in the next couple of weeks. We've got a lot of other exciting private projects going on too. So it's just fascinating to kind of look back and review that material from the late 60s when they were talking about how they're excited about the erection of the building, and now we're excited about the demolition of the building.
And I mean, the demolition makes perfect sense as being an actual visible bright spot of the revitalization downtown, because it really didn't fit in with everything else that was going on and it had been vacant for a long time.
It might have fit in some cases if it had been used.
Yeah.
But to exacerbate the situation is it had been lying vacant for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
So it had become a source of not a good bright spot, as you put it. I mean, it just was around.
Yeah.
It just took up space, and it became a source of public safety as well, as it became a place for people to hang out unwanted. So
yeah. Well, going forward, let's talk about some of the community engagement with this spot.
Now that it's down, becomes the task of what do we put back? What goes on here? We have kind of a tentative plan we've mapped out, at least really for the public input. We want to hear from people. We want to hear, what is it that people want to have in here? I've heard varying opinions, and I think that we can still seek to have a win-win where it's a great benefit. I think anything that other than what was here is going to be a positive, but we want to hear from people. So we're planning to issue, by the time I think this hits the air, we'll have a public opinion poll.
Okay.
A real simple survey or poll where we just ask a few questions, but ultimately it's, what would you like to see come here? We'll have that on our website. We'll send out some emails to some people we have emails for. We'll hopefully link it on your site. Maybe some other folks can distribute it, and just kind of send people there. Facebook will have people directing back to that link as well to take that poll. Real simple. It's not complicated, but we just ultimately just kind of want to hear from people as to what they want. We'll do one thing that we haven't had a date yet, but we'll issue that when we do, is we want to have an open house or an open office, I believe, as some folks had coined it, here in the hardware building. We'll probably shoot to do that sometime in September, where we'll just have staff available. Perhaps you and I can possibly be there just to kind of hear from folks, facilitate some conversation. It won't be an open public meeting necessarily where we just pass the open mic. I think this will be more productive and constructive. We'll maybe have some diagrams up, some renderings of what could be here, but really it's still kind of directing people to, okay, tell us what you want. Suggestion boxes. We may direct people. We may have some laptops there where they can take the poll. And there's also some other groups that are talking about having a block party to celebrate what is going on downtown, what is happening here on Main Street. They haven't determined that date yet, but hopefully maybe by the airing of this, there'll be some publications going out. Again, that'll all be more of a celebration of what's going on and to kind of mark the downtown or going down. But it'll also be a way for us to get some input into it as well as what we'd like to be going back into place. Yeah,
the public input is very important. So we'll be getting dates out for all these activities to have the public involved, because it's a public spot, so we have to have that input.
Yeah, it's a pretty good size. We do. I think it's about 180 feet down along Main Street, and maybe about 120, 130 feet going back up Union. So it's a decent size, but we want to hear from folks and see what goes on. Help inform a decision that has to ultimately be made. But I think whatever it is going to be better than what was here, and hopefully used a whole lot more than what was here too. So.
No doubt. Speaking of that, David, can you speak about just the whole River District transformation? How this fits in and just all the pieces kind of going together.
Well, I think it all connects in many ways. The River District plan has been a success. I think again through a partnership with DRF, really sparked the whole thing. I say going back even to October, November of 2010, when the city took a trip to Greenville and kind of got some motivation there. But coming forward from the River District development plan, we're going to start the Main Street project in September. Okay. Down at Memorial and Craighead, coming up Main Street will be the first visible projects there. We held a open house last night on that event for merchants and folks. That was phase one. That was a recommendation from the consultants to do the first project. Well, we're doing it starting September. phase 2 public project was to do the 100% corner with a water fountain. That'll be starting next calendar year, probably January, February. That's phase 2, so we're doing that too. Private investment projects, 3 of the 4 catalytic projects identified should be going online, at least for construction. One of them has already started, the River District Development Project down here at the corner of the old Dan River Research Building. And then the Pemberton building down on Bridge Street was identified, it's starting to. So a lot of this is really taking place. You know, this plan is not sitting on my shelf, it's not sitting on your shelf. People are looking at it. We've had calls from as far away as Texas saying, can I get a copy of that? I'd like to see what's going on in Danville. So it's really exciting. It's created a good buzz.
Yeah, we had some people up from Thomasville.
Yeah, we had folks from Thomasville. You know, just like we went to Greenville to visit, I think it was exciting, and it's a great sign that we're heading in the right direction. We're having people calling us and coming wanting to visit us. I think that's a great story.
And it's great to see everybody work together. I mean, the city, Averett, you know, community colleges, DRF, different foundations, and then the people with the private investment is the huge part.
Right.
You have to have that public buy-in. So
we've had, from my count, and it's not a total accurate count, it's on the minimum side, in the last couple of years, about $75 million. And then going forward, projected investment with the 2 projects that I just identified, close to $75 million just in private investment in the River District alone. So, you know, we've got a long ways to go. There's certainly things we can improve upon, you know, but we're working towards that. We're working on changing the attitude here and the culture here and the way that the buzz that goes on downtown. And it doesn't happen because we're doing it.
Yeah.
It happens because people are opening up shops, because people are sinking their own private money into it, and they're here. We could have a pretty street all we want, but if there's not a lot of private investment coming with that, it doesn't matter. But what's exciting to me is the private side is really almost leading the way now. We're just trying to be there to help and assist and you know, provide investment to where we should and have to complement them. So without the citizens, you know, this is all for naught, but we're glad they're there with us. So.
And with that, I mean, you know, we have the River District Festival came in. You know, that's a great venue for the citizens last year, and this year sparked by Arts and Humanities.
Right.
So that'll be October 5th and 6th. Main Street on October 5th with a headliner with some beach music and activities here. And then October 6th down along Bridge Street, the headliner's Dougie Fresh, but then we'll have a lot of different types of music, blues, Caribbean, soul, pop, a lot of arts vendors. The city has, Parks and Rec has a section over there.
Children's Day.
Children's Day?
Yeah, I think on the same day, I believe. So it'll be an exciting time. We were there last year. My whole family was there last year. It was a great day. We came back at night and listened to the music, so it was great.
Yeah, I think our family was down there most of the day. So it's great to see, like you said, David, all the shops, the culture, the restaurants, and then just the buy-in from the community itself.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you, man, for coming today and letting us, taking us around.
Sure, it's great, exciting.
It is. Welcome back to DRF Digest. I'm here with Bob Mitchell, the project manager for the Danville Family YMCA, the new site construction, which you can see all around me here. Just had a blast, which is very exciting. So Bob, thanks for joining me today, man.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you having me.
If you could just kind of walk us through how this construction is going to work from a phase basis.
Well, the infrastructure part, which is from the bottom up, which is what you see now, the rock, getting rid of the rock, and then moving from the rock to site grading and filling and retaining walls, water, sewer, and stuff like that, you have to kind of come out of the ground before you can start the building structure itself. And so you get all your infrastructure in, your foundation, your underground electrical, mechanical, and come out of the ground, then you start your steel erection. The goal is to get the site stabilized and the steel started and get a roof overhead as soon as possible.
Okay.
That way we can make the best use of the winter weather.
Okay.
And that's our goal right now. Past that, the goal is to get it up and get them in the building and everyone will be happy.
So Bob, what can the people, the public, look forward to here as far as activity? So let's say, it's not going to be a lot of activity right now. I mean, we do have people down here working, but as far as, maybe, what are they going to see in the future?
Well, in the future, you'll see the results of a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
Once you come out of the ground, you have to have a solid foundation. And you come out of the ground, structure goes up, and then you shell it in.
Okay.
Then you start your interior fit up and changes or alterations,
So
which is what the public sees most of.
And that's winter, post-winter, like winter to spring, that sort of
Yes,
time
sir.
frame?
That's correct.
So winter to spring of 2013, and then after that, what can we expect?
There's a lot of details on the inside. There's a lot of details to get this, and it's a very complicated job.
Okay.
It's a lot of money being spent here. It's a very complicated site, and it's a beautiful building. And the way it's sited to overlook downtown across the beautiful river here is unbelievable.
How many sites have you worked on that have just a vista like this?
Quite honestly, none like this. I worked on a lot of complicated sites, but this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable in any area of the country.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great blending of public use for the Y, but also just within nature itself. I mean, it's all being built in together.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the way they're taking into account blending the Riverwalk with the construction and the building and the view and the use of the intersection, new roads and stuff like it, is then again, it's unbelievable. This is just an unbelievable site. And the city of Danville is doing a tremendous job of improving downtown. And so this is very dynamic, very dynamic.
It is. And when would you say would be a tentative completion date somewhere?
I'd say probably around 16 to 18 months from now at the outside. I think somewhere around November of 2013. That is what we're going to achieve.
Just in time for the holidays so people can get in there and work off those holiday pounds. Maybe get a jump start on it.
Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
hey, Bob, I really appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your hard work.
Good to meet you.
You too. Okay, I'm here with Sarah Fulmer, the Executive Director and CEO of the Danville Family YMCA. Sarah, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
I know it's been a long journey to this point.
Yes, it has been a long journey, but we're finally here. We finally see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a train coming at us. So
excellent. Well, hopefully not. I know we just had the blast. It was kind of scary earlier.
Yeah, we had the second rock blast happen. So they're really digging up the rock and getting everything taken care of there.
And as far as progress from a financial perspective, I know DRF has put in over $9 million invested into the Y. Where are y'all at right now from fundraising?
We have raised a little over $13.8 million.
Wow.
So we're very proud of that, especially in this economy. We've just been so pleased with the support that we've had from all the foundations, the businesses, and the individuals. It just really shows that the community's behind this. They're rallying behind us. They're excited about this project, and I think people really realize what it's going to do for this area.
Can you talk a little bit about what exactly is going to be in the new Y facility, how it's going to differ from the Y we have now?
Sure. Well, first off, the facility itself, in terms of program space, every single program space is going to be between 30 and 50% larger than our current space. So obviously our pool is going to be a lot bigger. Our fitness center is going to basically be 4 times as large as it is now. We're going to have multiple aerobic studios, the child care center, the nursery where kids can be dropped off while parents work out. That part of the facility is going to be a lot bigger. So we're going to have a couple areas that are going to be new, like the walking track above the gym. We're going to have that, which is going to be really nice for hot days and for cold days for folks to come inside and walk on the track. And then we're excited about a teen center that we're going to have. So the teens are going to have their own designated space, which is really going to be nice. So after school, they'll have a place to come and hang out and enjoy. But overall, the facility is just going to be so much more efficient and a lot bigger. With the influx of new members, we'll be able to have a lot more resources to really hone in on what the Y does and to really hone in on issues in the community that we need to take care of as a Y.
How many members do you have right now, approximately?
We are about 2,500 members, and that's just our membership. That doesn't include all those that come for things like swimming lessons and swim team and different
Basketball, kids
programs,
soccer.
basketball. So, but 2,500 is our base.
Okay.
And we're hoping to almost triple that in
Yeah.
the new facility. So according to our marketing study, they said that this just wasn't just a home run, but a grand slam in terms of those folks that are going to be interested in coming to the new Y.
And it's great not only for Danville, but also the Dan River region. I mean, you have people from Pennsylvania County, Caswell can take advantage. And
Yes.
it's also a great economic development tool. It
Yeah.
shows that we're really investing in our health and wellness, which you need for a healthy workforce.
Absolutely. When people come to the area, they look at things like schools and they look at the arts, and recreation is right up there. You know, you can take somebody on a tour of the area and they want to see your schools, and then they want to see your Y. What is your YMCA like? Because people that come from other areas, they do have booming, beautiful YMCAs that really serve the needs of their community, and Danville really deserves that. So we're just so happy that that's going to happen.
And as far as access points to so when the public comes in to use the new Y next year, where are those going to be?
In terms of the entrance
Yes.
coming in, yeah, right on the corner here where you turn onto Riverside Drive, this is going to be the main entrance. And then, of course, there's a whole area on the other side of the Y that is yet to be developed.
Okay.
So eventually that will be an access point, too. So those will kind of be the 2 points.
So you have some room to play with over there, possibly.
Well, that is owned by other individuals.
Okay.
So in terms of they're going to be doing a lot of development there. So that's exciting, too, that we're going to have some new neighbors eventually and some more great economic development.
If you guys are going to be coming online, there's going to be a lot happening toward the end of next year, the end of 2013, with you guys coming online here with the Y, the large format dome theater at the Science Center. You have all sorts of arts, culture, restaurants downtown or in the River District. And also in the River District, you know, you have Bridge Street is booming, Avertt's got their nursing program, so everything just seems to be coming together at the same time.
Yeah, it is. It's like Danville's on the upswing. You know, Danville's been through a lot of hard times, but now finally things are really starting to come up for us, and I think we're definitely on the upswing. And I think it just goes to show when a community pulls together and when you have major organizations like the foundation in the area that really show that they want to make this place a great place to live, it just is amazing.
What was the inspiration? We're going to flash some photos, renderings of the new Y. What was the inspiration for the feel of the exterior, how it really fits in to the
Well, the architects, Collins, Cooper, and Carusi out of Atlanta, they really did some extensive research on the area, and they went around through the warehouse and that district and took a look at all the old mills and all the old buildings. So they wanted to bring something to the area that was timeless, but yet really had a sense of what the Dan River region used to be. So you'll see that a lot of the architecture does have similarity with the White Mill with a tower and with some of the exposed beams and the red brick. So we really wanted to tie in the feel of the mills, but have something that's still timeless.
And as far, there's also some local companies working on the Y as well. Who
Oh
are
yeah,
those?
Dewberry. They are taking care of our landscaping and our civil engineering. And then we have Blair Construction, of course, who has been awarded the entire project for construction. So we're so happy to be able to have local folks working on the project.
Great. Well, Sarah, I don't know what they're going to be doing down here. I think we should finish up.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we had another great episode. We were with David Parrish, the Deputy City Manager, talking about the downtowner and the great, that coming down, and then the great way that space could potentially be utilized and having community involvement with that. Then also here at the site of the future Danville YMCA with Sarah Fulmer, the CEO and Executive Director. There's so much going on down here, and there's going to be so much not only now, but within the next, it seems unrecognizable right now, but just wait a year from now. Again, I want to thank you for helping us stick with the name of the show, DRF Digest, which came in as the top vote getter. And again, if you have any ideas for stories, anything related to DRF grantees, partners, please give me a call. Matt Charles, Danville Regional Foundation, at 434-799-8969. That's Matt Charles at DRF, 434-799-8969. And my email is mcharles@drfonline.org. That's mcharles@drfonline.org. Thank you so much, and keep making bright spots throughout the community.